Hi everybody, welcome to Parker's Park Reviews. Today we are ranking all of the coasters in Kings Island. Kings Island is a park in Mason, Ohio. It is my home park, so I feel like a ranking video of all the coasters there would be a good place to start for my new channel. Kings Island is a park that has an excellent coaster collection. Not very many parks can say that they have 14 roller coasters. This park was acquired by Cedar Fair in 2006 when they outbidded their competitors for the 5 Paramount parks. There are very few coasters in this park that I consider bad, but there are some. But most of these coasters are fantastic, and some of the best in the world. Also, shout out to Coasterpedia for giving me the information for this video. Now, let's get ranking. So basically how this video is going to work is I'm going to be breaking each group of rides into sections. This section is going to be called the Kiddie Coaster. Sure, why not? Number 14. The Great Pumpkin Coaster. This ENF Kiddie Coaster is nothing special. This is another Taxi Jam clone with a Peanuts theme. The coaster is probably many thrill seekers' first coaster. Overall, there's not much to say. It's just a standard kiddie coaster with nothing to write home about. But it's got a very boring layout, so let's just talk about that. There's a few airtime hills and then a turn. And then it just goes again. It is extremely boring. On to the next section. The next coaster section is the bad section. These coasters are terrible. Don't waste your time. Number 13. Flying Ace Aerial Chase. I bet you were expecting the suspended Vekoma Hang and Bang would make it low on this list. I remember loving this coaster when I was younger, but I don't see how. This ride is awful. I rode it again recently for nostalgia purposes, and it was unbearably rough for a kiddie coaster. These turns send your head flying into the restraints in an extremely uncomfortable fashion. You would never expect a 26-mile-per-hour ride would make you feel like your brain is going to be mushed into a slushy substance by the end. Maybe this would be better if they added vest restraints, but I don't see that happening in the near future. Anyway, this ride is terrible. I do not recommend riding this under any circumstances. Just don't ride this thing, ever. Number 12. Alright, guys, prepare to be triggered, because number 12 is Flight of Fear. I hate this thing. Let's get the positives out of the way first. The launch is very fun and forceful, but that's about it. A year or two ago, I rode this thing and got so nauseous we had to leave. Talk about a bad day at an amusement park. Premier Rides did not make a very good coaster model. After the shoulder restraints were equipped with lap bars, the entire ride went from bearable to absolutely atrocious. Your thighs will be crushed in this excruciating layout. And on top of that, the over-the-shoulder restraints give you terrible headbanging. Each inversion feels like your head has been shoved into a blender, and not in the good way. The last corkscrew is actually the worst inversion ever. And on top of that, there is a point in the middle where the ride loses all of its speed, making it boring and painful. Weirdly, most people like this thing, so I actually recommend riding it so that I can hear what you think in the comments. This next section is the alright coaster section. These are all around good rides, but you won't see me in line too often. Number 11. Woodstock Express. This is a fantastic kiddie coaster. It is the perfect stepping stone attraction for aspiring coaster enthusiasts. It's a fun little ride with little pops of airtime, perfect for kids who want to get on the bigger rides. It's got the perfect thrills for the youngins while still being enjoyable for adults. PTC hit the nail on the head with this attraction. The elements are fun but not too intense. Overall, if you're a child or have a child, you can't miss the Woodstock Express. Number 10, in Vertigo. It's a Vekoma boomerang. Yay! I mean, it is an inverted Vekoma boomerang, but seriously, it's not too rough. It's inverted, so it's kind of different, but it's still a boomerang, so... Number 9, the Bat. This is a fantastic aerodynamic suspended coaster. It packs amazing forces, and the swinging aspect makes it very enjoyable. This is the second suspended coaster I've ridden, and it outclasses Iron Dragon in every way. This ride is surprisingly intense, and it's really funny how you keep swinging on the final brake run. With a speed of 51 miles per hour, this ride doesn't disappoint. This coaster provides excellent views of the forest and is actually very secluded. The entrance is by Banshee, and after you enter, it feels like you have to walk 3 miles to get to the station. However, I think this is a good thing because it gives this ride a bit of extra charm. While I have been gushing over this ride, there is a reason I rarely ride it. It is pretty short and can be uncomfortable, depending on the ride. But it is still a pretty fun ride that you shouldn't pass up on your next trip. The next section is the fun but tame coaster section. These rides are basically perfect, but are not as intense as a lot of the other coasters, so they aren't ranked very high. Number 8. Adventure Express. This is an Aero mine train located near the Coney Mall section of the park. This is a fantastic mine train with scenic views and fun moments of intensity. The theming on this ride is spot on, and I never pass up a ride on it. Every person I see come off this ride has a smile on their face, and it's easy to see why. While this ride isn't that intense, it is very fun, and I always get a kick out of it. Number 7, Backlot Stunt Coaster. If I had to describe this ride in one word, that word would be fun. The launch at the beginning is super intense for a family coaster, and I love the upwards helix that follows it. The theming on this ride is top notch, and Premier Rides definitely upped their game since, well... Fun fact, this ride was originally based off the Italian Job, which I have never seen and never plan to see. The fire special effects towards the end are awesome when they work, and the most intense part of the ride besides the launch is the section in the dark. You can't see a single thing until you blast off the sign at the end, which is a beautiful photo op. All in all, this ride is a fantastic ride for younger thrill seekers who aren't ready for the more intense rides. Number 6, The Racer. This is my friend's favorite ride. Yes, he prefers this to Diamondback, Mystic Timbers, Banshee, everything. I don't really know why. But that aside, this coaster is a phenomenal dueling wooden coaster. It has excellent airtime, a basic yet fun layout, and a great dueling aspect that gives it a charming sense of competition. The classic wooden coaster shake makes this enjoyable experience from the moment you plummet down the first drop to the time you hit the final brake run. The coasters in this next section are the gray coasters. These are the rides that make this a destination park, and you cannot miss them. Number 5, The Beast. This award-winning roller coaster was built in-house by Charles Dinn. This coaster is literally a beast. It is incredibly intense and has a great collection of elements. The 110-foot drop is a lot crazier than it sounds. The giant helix in the tunnels is the highlight, and of course the long layout makes this ride feel even crazier. I haven't even gotten to the drop underground or the incredible station theming. This ride also packs in some insane airtime in several sections, mainly ejector. This ride is an absolute monster, through and through. You cannot miss it for the world. Number 4, Banshee. This is the park's B&M invert, and it has a crazy amount of intense elements. The theming is spot on. It's also the longest invert ever made, whips through 7 inversions, and has vest restraints that eliminate all headbanging. The 0G roll at the end delivers excellent hang time. The scream that echoes through Oktoberfest when the train reaches the top of the lift hill makes it incredibly intimidating. The color scheme is beautiful, and it has a crazy top speed of 68 miles per hour. These are only some of the amazing features of this ride. The only downside is that it has gotten pretty rough pretty fast, and sometimes I get terrible rides on it. But that's only sometimes. This is an outstanding coaster that you can't miss next time you go to Kings Island. The final 3 coasters fall under the Elite Coaster section. These coasters are phenomenal, and that's saying something considering they're all above Banshee and the Beast. Ranking these coasters was incredibly difficult, but this is my final decision. Number 3, Mystic Timbers. GCI hit the nail on the head with this coaster. It is absolutely perfect. This ride is relentless. It never slows down until the final brake run. Speaking of the final brake run, I know that the shed has become a meme, but it is a great little bit of theming that gives this ride a nice bit of horror charm. This ride has some insane ejector airtime, and I am always speechless whenever I come off this ride. I know this isn't important, but I love the music. It's so spooky. The drop is excellent. The airtime is excellent. The shed is okay. You guys have to ride this when you go. It is intense and has great airtime. Number 2, Orion. This is the B&M Giga Coaster that opened up in 2020. This ride has excellent sustained elements like the wave turn, the floater airtime hills, and the helix. The highlight of this ride is the first 300-foot, 85-degree drop, which makes your heart leave your chest. This ride is incredibly smooth. It gives an incredible ride experience unlike any other. The floater airtime is absolutely brilliant. And that's the word I would use to describe this ride. Brilliant. It provides a fast yet somewhat peaceful ride experience. No other Giga Coaster I've ridden has quite the same amount of elegance as this one. What I mean by elegance is the sustained elements. This ride is fast but not intense. It gives a unique ride experience unlike any other, and that's why you have to ride this when you go to Kings Island. Number 1, Diamondback. Of course a B&M Hyper makes it to the top, but this is the best B&M Hyper ever. This ride is more intense than Orion, which is why it comes out on top. This ride has surreal flow-ejector airtime and a long ride time that many other Hypers just don't have. This ride has it all. 230-foot drop? Check. Flow-ejector airtime? Check. 84 mile per hour speed? Check. 5,282 feet in length? Check. Beautiful splashdown? Check. I can't praise this coaster enough. It is perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's smooth as silk, has the best out and back layout I've ever seen. You can't miss this ride. This ride alone makes Kings Island a must. You can tell by this video and my profile picture that I absolutely love this ride. And that's the beauty of this ride. It's just so perfect. I don't know what else to say. It's just perfect. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Do you agree with my picks? If not, how would you rank these coasters? Tell me in the comments down below. Bye everybody, see you next time.